Nick Weiler's set to send it deep. The Chick-fil-A kickoff game is underway. And it's going to come out to the 25-yard line. Well, and a carry for Nick Chubb to start. Off to a pretty good start. The stiff arm, 6 yards. And speaking of Nick Chubb, Chubb tries to get outside and does. Off to a terrific start, showing no ill effects. Chubb now picks up the blitz. Lambert, though, has the rest of the pocket collapse. The heels get there, and they've got their draw play to Chubb, right up the gut. And it will be 3rd down and about 6. Carolina brings another blitz, untouched off the edge. Down goes Grayson Lambert for a 2nd time.
Well, he's got to see that corner pressure.
True freshman from Australia, punting, and a good one. Marshall Long gets it away, and boy, is there a dangerous return man back there in Ryan Switzer with a flag down. We'll have to check the penalty marker thrown back at the line of scrimmage. And let's see if Larry Fedora wants them to kick it again.
Kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. 1st down.
Trubisky with a handoff to Elijah Hood. And moves the pile for about 3 yards.
A zone team, you want to see that push at the line of scrimmage.
Little wide receiver screen. Austin Kroll is bottled up. And a long 5, close to 6. 4-man rush for the Dogs. The screen set up for Switzer. He's not going to get there.
And the bust there for the Tar Heels.
Tom Sheldon is also a true freshman punter. And this one an end-over-end kick. Fair catch is made at about the 21-yard line. Delayed handoff to Nick Chubb right up the gut. He picks up 4.
Worth watching the success on 1st down for both these teams.
Chubb being chased and being dropped by Andre Smith. That's a loss first in America, and the last time their defense was on the field, they gave up 6:45 on the ground to Baylor. Lambert bullets one over the middle. Isaiah McKenzie picks up the 1st down on 3rd and long. Nick Chubb for 2.5 yards. Let's go down to Allison. Play action for Lambert. Pops one underneath, and that one about 1.5 yards shy of the 1st down to Michael Chigbu. Also Tyler Catalina. 3rd down and 1. Chubb very close to the 1st down. He will be marked. Another delayed handoff to Nick Chubb. Into the secondary. Carrying tacklers to the 22. And a late flag thrown as well.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 12. Penalized half the distance to the goal line. Automatic. 1st down.
This is the lone setback now in the eye on 1st down in the red zone. He gets the handoff. He gets to the 5. Keeps driving the pile. A helmet off as well through the back of the end zone. Another handoff. To the 2-yard line goes Brendan Douglas. 2 true freshman tight ends on either side of the line. Instead, it's Chubb. He does it himself. That's a Georgia touchdown. Welcome back, Nick Chubb. The 22nd career rushing touchdown.
230 pounds downhill. You're not stopping him at the goal line.
TJ Logan from the 5. Out to the 23. That's what's, and a little momentum going offensively. Quick hitch again. Nothing there. Ryan Switzer blown up by Malcolm Parrish.
Chunk plays, but in order to get that tempo, you got to get a 1st down.
Trubisky, long throw across the field. He's got one-on-one out on the edge. Chris Francis.
2 series without really feeling the impact of Hood.
Well, that'll help. As Roquan Smith, every official on the field threw a flag.
Offside. Defense number 3 unabated to the backfield. 5-yard penalty range, 3rd down.
5-man rush. Trubisky given time and delivers a strike for a first down. Bentley Spain backed up, but only after Davin Bellamy jumped. Let's see what the officials come away with.
Offside. Defense number 17 moving into the neutral zone, causing the offensive players to react. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
Kirby Smart watching his defense. 1st and 5. Trubisky. Play action fake. Looking for the home run. Broken up. Ryan Switzer had a step, but more Trubisky. 2nd down and 5 becomes 3rd down and 4. Elijah. Switzer started early. That's a false start on Ryan Switzer.
False start. Offense number 3. 5-yard penalty remaining. 4th down.
3rd down and 8. Trubisky under some pressure extends the play. Lost the football. Just threw it straight down at the deck. They're going to rule that a fumble. Aaron Davis the other way for a Georgia touchdown. His arms coming forward, and it looked as if he was trying to pump fake.
He was going down. Remember
After
that.
further review, the quarterback had possession when his arm was coming forward. Therefore, it is an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down and 8. Please reset the game clock for 1 minute and 44 seconds.
And I like that level of detail and explanation. It's what you want.
North Carolina, a couple of first downs. Now you're not punting from back inside your 10-yard line. A chance to change field position, and it looks like they will at least do that. Making the first man miss is Isaiah McKenzie, but he gets buried at the 15-yard line after a Georgia tightens up the formation, trying to pave the way again for Chubb. Nick Chubb. 4 yards to the 19-yard line. Chubb again. Now again, last season, North Carolina.
They're confused.
Flags down. Lambert off his back foot to the sideline, incomplete.
Yeah, this is going to be an illegal substitution. They're confused, and that's the easiest play.
And that penalty will result in a first for the opposing offense. That's a tough pill to swallow if you're Carolina. Grayson Lambert under pressure. Tries to squeeze his way back to the line of scrimmage. But Nazir Jones tripped him up. North Carolina with only 9 plays from scrimmage offensively in the first quarter. Grayson Lambert right on time to the true freshman. Isaac they can get a stop here. Lambert looking at a blitz. It gets picked up. That ball deflected and falls in no man's land. So it will be a punt.
With a wonderful blitz package tonight.
Play clock at 1, and they get the snap off. Returnable for Switzer. Finds a lane. Good field position for North Carolina. Trubisky well protected here. Looking for the deep ball to Bug Howard. Just overthrows his 6'5". Here's TJ Logan. Breaks a tackle in the backfield. Gets to the edge. TJ Logan. Another gear all the way down inside the 20. Another handoff and a cutback to TJ Logan. At the pylon, he's brought down. Trubisky wants to go quickly. They will. To the ground game again. Submarining is Logan. And this time Georgia holds 2 touches so far, and Larry Fedora wants a timeout. He's calling that one from the sideline. In there with pace. Play action. Trubisky. He'll walk into the end zone. That's a Tar Heel touchdown.
Inside, not a surprise.
And that was the first jersey that Kirby Smart grabbed when he came over to the sideline. As a 5-play, 52-yard touchdown. It was only replaced once, and that turned out to be a disaster in a 27-3 loss. Well, it looks like Jacob Eason is on his way in to take over at quarterback. Now, do you think, Brock, as Eason comes out on the field and the Dog fans start to react, that this is just let's get Jacob Eason in and give him a taste of the game? Or is this a straight-up quarterback switch and Eason takes over?
This is clear.
If you're a true freshman in this atmosphere. And he'll hand it to him on first down. So Nick Chubb picks up 2. Now to play devil's advocate.
Veteran dude that the true freshman can't handle.
Eason, that's an easy completion to Terry Godwin for his first ever collegiate completion. And it's easily. And he comes all the way from Lake Stevens, Washington to Athens, Georgia to become the quarterback for the Dogs. And now with the true freshman at quarterback, Kirby Smart wants to call a timeout from the sideline.
Well, the true freshman didn't realize where that play clock was, and the coaching staff did.
Timeout.
Again, the freshman star Jacob Eason with a toss to Nick Chubb. Blockers out in front. Chubb close to another Georgia first down. Eason play action. Looking deep to the sideline and overthrows. Doesn't come back in this football game. Second down and 10. There's a handoff to Nick Chubb. Runs a man over. Another first down for Nick Chubb. A gain of 14 more.
And finish.
Brendan Douglas replaces Chubb. He gets the handoff right up the middle again. The C's part. He lost the football. A scramble forward at about the 12-yard line. Who's got it? They still haven't come away with a signal. And there it is. North. Trubisky, play action. Looking for a deep ball. Drops it into Pro, but he can't hold on. Austin. Nice move right at the line. A little jump cut from T.J. Logan. Four-man rush. Trubisky steps up in the pocket and goes down. David Lewis return man. Ryan Switzer for North Carolina. And Isaiah McKenzie, who calls for a fair catch here for Georgia. That's pretty good punch. And now the Dogs with good field position. A little speed end around. And on the flip, it's on this opening weekend. And Georgia right now in a tussle that we anticipated with North Carolina. Jumping to the outside, Nick Chubb. Close to another Georgia first. Chubb finds room. He's got another first down. Down to the 23-yard line.
This kid run it, and then ultimately you hope to hit a play pass and be a difference maker.
And so far, all Jacob second down just inside the red zone. And a toss to the true freshman. He's got another gear. Look at Harry and go to the pylon. Is he in? That is a Georgia touchdown. I would say Brian Harrian's very important drive, you would think, coming here for North Carolina, as they will also start the third quarter with the football. Here's T.J. Logan from the goal line and squeezes across the 20 to the 21.
In case you're wondering.
Trubisky with a handoff to Hood. And if he can get going, that would be the dimension that North Carolina's offense needs. And does he ever? Looking like Nick Chubb with a stiff arm into plus. Quick toss to Hood. Tripped up. That's a loss of a yard. Nice play by
he can have in a game.
They give it to him on 2nd and 12. Flags down. He'll lose a couple more. Trenton Thompson blew through the left side of the line and was first there. We'll check the marker.
And that's going to be a hold on the right guard, Tommy Hatton. The only new starter on that offensive line trying to...
Holding offense number 52. That penalties declined. Is a third down.
So Kirby Smart takes the top off the defense wide receiver out for the first half because of targeting. And there's a floating pass to the sideline intended for
incidental contact, by the way. The feet just get tangled up. That was a good no call on what many Carolina fans and Larry Fedora wanted to be pass interference.
False start. Offense number 23. 5-yard penalty remains. Fourth down.
Sheldon to punt. Angles one to the far sideline. And it's a fair catch and a bump. Straight up the middle, as has been the case. Here he is again. The thing I love, the Kirby Smart selling out, it looks like to stop the run. And they hand it to Nick Chubb. The heels stack the middle. And this time they hold the point of attack. Jeremiah, return man back in Ryan Switzer.
And a freshman punter.
Switzer an immediate fair catch. Backed up to the 29 and hit. He absolutely called for a fair catch. So that is a mistake.
Because of the contact previously. That was a blocked into.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Kicking team number 24. 15-yard penalty.
Back to start the third quarter, and they begin the third quarter with the ball. Trubisky unloads. Ryan Switzer bails him out. No gain on first down.
Uncharacteristic from Crowley, the center.
Long check down to TJ Logan. Stiff arm. And a gain. Low snap again. Trubisky scoops it up. Whistles one to the outside. Catch and run for a first down to Carlton. Trubisky looking downfield for Bug Howard. Out of bounds. Well, the SEC team, Adnan, has the lead here, but North Carolina is trying to strike before halftime. A check down to Elijah Hood. Here comes the blitz. They set up the screen behind it beautifully. Elijah Hood has a first down and more. What a great play call.
Lots of yards to be had.
There's a gain of 18. Trubisky again looking downfield, needs someone to come back and help him. Long throw to the sideline. It's Prohl that comes back, gives his quarterback the help he needed. First and goal, Carolina at the 6. Trubisky has that one deflected and almost intercepted. Another blitz. Trubisky off his back foot, a jump ball, and he might just be throwing that one away. And he was.
For the first 2 snaps.
Bug Howard is 6'5" at the bottom of your screen. That's where they go. A fade to Bug Howard. Knocked away. Malcolm Parrish comes back as well. Line drive. Not aesthetically pleasing, but got the job done.
It is a question. It's absolutely a question. And I think the most important thing, Bob, is it sure looks like the 2 quarterbacks don't care.
Through the back of the end zone on the kick from Wiley.
Where you are coming from here. Ultimately, this game will be decided by Nick Chubb and their run game in the second half anyway. And I sure love the fact that Jacob Eason got his feet wet in college football.
Allison Williams is going to talk to Kirby Smart. You'll hear that with arguably their most explosive perimeter player, Mac Hollins, back on the field, sitting out the first half after the carryover of the targeting penalty to finish the bowl game last year. TJ Logan swings wide, gets a block, cuts it back. TJ Logan, he's got a step. Touchdown.
The football games.
A special teams touchdown puts North Carolina on top. This kick ends up through the corner of the end zone, so no chance for a return for Nick Chubb. And that's where they go on the toss, just playing power football with their best player. And they grind out 4 yards. End around. Isaiah McKenzie brought down. Good job staying on 3rd and 2 at tailback. Flag down.
False start. Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
And man outside.
North Carolina sends a blitz. Lambert over the middle. A strike for a first down. Isaiah McKenzie with a flag down as well. McKenzie did a great job of walling off the coverage and making the catch, and Lambert may have been roughed.
The result of the play is a first down. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 72. 15-yard penalty will be enforced. From the end of the run, it will be 1st and 10 after enforcement of that penalty.
Away the yardage for Georgia, and they start over on 1st down. Back to Nick Chubb. To the 23-yard line, a gain of a couple. Down at 8. Chubb stays in the game. He has been terrific in his return. Lambert, play action fake to the sideline. He's got a hook up for a first down. Michael Chigbu. Completion on the field and a first down, and Georgia gets the playoff. There's the true freshman. He had a touchdown on his first carry. And he picks up 8 on his second carry. Brian
the
Harrion.
NFL. Job one.
Harrion for a first down. And a few more. Well, I don't think there's any question in the minds of...
He played a little blind at times. Better here on this drive.
Chubb bounces it outside. He's got to step down the sideline. Another first down. Submarine by... The toss to Harrion. Like lightning to the 25-yard line. 10th play of the drive. Play action. Lambert up against the sideline, just dirts the ball, but also didn't make the big mistake. Third down here. There's the check down underneath. Well short of the first down. Charlie Werner, his first ever field goal attempt. And he's 0 for 1.
Looks like a first-timer.
Special teams. Modest man to the far side left. Trubisky runs that way. Just a straight quarterback keeper. And picks up close to 7 yards on first down.
Adjustment to Georgia's front.
Quick toss to Elijah Hood. First down.
Question it as time's running down.
Delayed handoff, turning the corner. Is Elijah Hood, breaks a tackle. That's another North Carolina. Over the middle, making the catch is Ryan Switzer. Gets a block from Hollins, uses the stiff arm.
But the arm strength of Trubisky, the velocity beats it.
Turning the corner is Logan. TJ Logan for the pylon. Touchdown. Eason warming up again on the Georgia sideline. Now his presence might be necessary.
Touchdown or game-changing play as Carolina did. Just positive field position.
This one returnable for Reggie Davis, but he'll take a knee. Looked like he was about to on the dead run, bring it out, down by 10. And he'll toss to another true freshman, Brian Harrion. A yard, maybe 2. They run it again with Nick Chubb. It'll be third down. They send a blitz. Eason is able to beat it. Michael Chigbu. Nick Chubb for 2 more yards. And Allison, this is for Georgia. Eason on second down. A wobbler down the sideline. That's a jump ball, and it deflects out of bounds. He's going to take another shot. Broken up. Flag out. Patrice Rene on Jason Stanley. And that's a true freshman in coverage for North Carolina.
Pass interference. Defense number 5. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
This time I think they put Jacob Eason in an empty backfield. 5 wide. Straight throw out of the shotgun. He has time. He delivers a bullet that's dropped. And off to Chubb on second down. It'll be third down and 7. Let's see what happens on 3rd and 7. Another blitz coming from North Carolina. Lobbing it down the sideline. Again, it's underthrown. Rene is there, and he's going to draw another flag. Patrice Rene.
Pass interference. Defense number 5. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
Wide receiver hitch. Caught by Reggie Davis. Inside the phone booth with Brian Harrion, a tailback. Third down and 2 coming up after Harrion gets it to the 20-yard. They toss it to their star. Blockers in front. He cuts it back, and he's got a first down. Up pretty close to the line of scrimmage. And there's a little jet sweep. Isaiah McKenzie gets to the edge. At the pylon, is he in? It looks like they'll mark him out at the half-yard line. He hit the pylon. From the Georgia crowd right now at the initial call because they saw the replay that we just put up on our air for you at home on the big screen here. And, of course, they're all thinking, how do you call him out at the half-yard line? That should be a touchdown, but that might get corrected pretty quick by the replay booth.
And very easy in the speed that we're looking at it to see that that hand did not go down as quick as that is happening in front of that field judge. He got it wrong.
Statistics as a forward pass. Where, in truth, that's just a...
The Big 12, the Pac-12 are just not as far behind as they once were.
They're trying to keep it away from T.J. Logan. Here's Chris Francis up against the sideline. That is a terrific kickoff. He'll throw. Hit as he throws. Still unloads it into double coverage. Incomplete. He was trying for the big play to make. Play action again. There's the slant. Austin Kroll. Flag down. That's a first down if the play stands.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. Keep second down.
Did they just drop another flag on Larry Fedora?
Sure did.
For coming out on the field and arguing. It looks like one of the officials going to tack on a penalty on the Carolina head coach.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Head coach of North Carolina. Penalized half the distance to the goal line. And keep second down. This is the first unsportsmanlike conduct call against the head coach.
Fedora for arguing a call that turns out to be probably a bad call. 2nd and 18 from the end zone. Trubisky in trouble. Throws it. Caught. That's going to be a safety. They set up the screen to Elijah Hood in the end zone. And it's a safety and 2 points for the Dawgs. Makes it a 1-point game.
This game around in 7 minutes. We knew this was going to be an incredible game decided in the fourth quarter, and that's exactly what we're getting.
Here's Isaiah McKenzie on the return of the free kick. He can fly. Gets out to the 40-yard line. So great field position as Terry Godwin lines up to take the direct snap. First time we've seen this. They'll run a little read option, and Godwin jitterbugs to the sideline and gains. Back to Nick Chubb. 3rd down and a yard and a half coming up to start the toss to Nick Chubb. He is met. Gang tackled. North Carolina gets the stop. Malik Grayson Lambert out to go for it maybe on 4th and 2. Is this just a hard count? Will they snap the ball on their side of the 50 on 4th down?
No.
Timeout called from the sideline by Kirby Smart. A chess game. And watch ESPN, so after the timeout, and maybe the timeout could be second-guessed, here is the punt, and it's a wobbly one. Ryan Switzer waves his teammates away, and this takes a big-time North Carolina high. They'll hand it right up the middle, out of the spread set to Hood. And there is a fight to get Hood on the ground. It's never an easy. He gets it again. 3rd down and 2 after a gain of 3. Roquan Smith. Trubisky on a rollout. Wide open. Perfectly designed play to Ryan Switzer. And that's an easy. This play blown dead at the line. And it'll cost Carolina 5.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
Draw play. Elijah Hood got back the penalty yardage and then some. Gained about 10. Holds it again. Play action. Trubisky up the seam. Tipped and almost intercepted. 4-man rush. Trubisky well protected as a result. Goes to his check down. That's not going to get the job done. So they flag down as it looks like the play clock wound all the way down before North Carolina could get set up to punt. So they'll take
Delay
the 5-yard penalty.
Offense, 5-yard penalty remains. 4th down.
This better be directional. Be directional.
And he tried to directional it to the sideline. Seemed to hook it right back down the middle where it's scooped up dangerously so. Little toss to Nick Chubb. Gain of 1.5 yards. Malik Carney made the play clock at 5. Nick Chubb. If he changed it, it was the right call. As Nick Chubb picked up. Down to 3. Gets the play off with no problem. Play action fake. Long ball to the sideline, and that one sailed a bit, and we've got a flag down in the offensive backfield as well. That's going to be a hold against Georgia.
Hold it. Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
They've thrown it 16 times. 1st and 20 gets you off schedule. A little flip pass into the right flat to Brendan Douglas. Boy, does he get hammered. Picked up. Carolina shows blitz. They bring 5. Throwing right behind the blitz was Jacob Eason to Isaiah McKenzie. Donnie Miles, recruit in America. Another blitz coming from North Carolina. He looks for the home run to McKenzie. He's got it down the sideline. Huge play for the Dawgs. First down in the red zone. Flag down at the snap. Is this a formation penalty at the snap against Georgia?
Illegal formation. More than 4 men line up in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. First down. Timeout for an injured defensive player.
Eason play action, and he's sacked. Oh, that time he had no chance to look down after the penalty and the sack. Up the middle. There's the true freshman again. An impact play by Brian Harrion. All the way down to the 12-yard line. True freshman at quarterback, true freshman at tailback. Play action. Throws it to the back pylon. That carries out of bounds. Terry Godwin, the intended receiver. To give Georgia the lead with 5.5 minutes to go. Line drive, but he's got it. Now do they kick it to TJ Logan, who already has a kickoff return for a touchdown in the game? They will. Logan from the 1. Flag down, and he won't even get to the 15-yard line. Flags thrown everywhere. There might be multiple penalties on this play as we've got an altercation.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 41. Penalized half the distance to the goal line from the spot of foul. First down.
Elijah Hood, nothing on first down.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Mitch Trubisky.
And Marquise Williams won the job. Stayed, and now he's throwing from the goal line. And has a hookup to Bug Howard. Close to the first down. Forward. They roll the pocket. Simple pitch and catch for the first down with a flag thrown in the secondary. And Ryan Switzer just couldn't put the brakes on fast enough to roll upfield.
Pass interference. Offense, number 13. Penalized half the distance to the goal line from the previous spot. Repeat. Third down.
Obviously, instead of a first down for North Carolina, it's 3rd and 9. Trubisky, long throw to the sideline, coming back to make the catch. Is he in bounds? Mac Hollins, yes he is. Where it can still be deemed to have been in the receiver's control by the official.
Ooh.
That little wobble there, would you say that meets the definition of losing control of the ball?
It sure feels like just about every call, pass interference. But as you ought
After
to know,
further review, in the process of making the catch and going to the ground, ball hit the ground. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. It'll be fourth down at the 8-yard line.
As they can, and they've almost legislated it to a point that what really looks like a catch your whole life, watching football, turns out not to be a catch. Pretty good punt, heading the wrong direction is Isaiah McKenzie. Now he gets a block, and now he gets planted. A toss to Nick Chubb. Blockers out in front. He's got a crease. Nick Chubb, eyes on the end zone. Touchdown. Return. 222 yards, 2 touchdowns. And a 2-score Georgia lead. Let's go back to is an offense for one of these two teams that is built for this situation. It's North Carolina. 3.5 minutes and all 3 timeouts And T.J. Logan bringing it back. Let's go down to Allison.
Is Nick Chubb bearing the fruits of the work that he put in to get back?
But they need 2 scores. Trubisky underneath. Diving catch is made by Hollins. That'll roll the clock. Gain of 6. Long throw to the sideline. Wide open was Austin Kroll, but that ball sailed. Only a 3-man rush. Right at the first down marker, it's Bug Howard. And that will be good enough to move the chains for the Heels.
3 seam that starts with not wasting a second.
Check down, wide open. Ryan Switzer steps out of bounds. Low throw, but it's good for a first down to Elijah Hood. So that was
well done.
5-man rush. Trubisky. Again, it's Switzer. Right at the first down marker. That looks to be good for another. North Carolina just need points to make it a 1-score game. Trubisky, as he's falling to the turf with a flag down, forces one and finds Switzer.
Holding. Offense number 52. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
13 penalties.
You can also stream live with Watch ESPN. The game will be right here on ESPN with Georgia and North Carolina concludes. Back to more Bob and Brock.
4-man rush. Trubisky steps up. Check down to Hood. Has a blocker and has a first down. Down to 130.
What a tremendous amount of energy from both teams tonight.
Trubisky down the sideline into double coverage. Bug Howard out of bounds. Screen. Logan. Nothing. And it rolls the clock. A worst case scenario. So much goes into these play calls. Trubisky. That comes out sideways. And they'll rule that an incomplete pass. Lorenzo Carter compelled to go for it on 4th down. This might be a free play. Georgia might have been offsides.
Offside. Defense number 78. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
Trubisky, long throw to the sideline, out of bounds. And that will end it. And it's Grayson Lambert out there for victory formation. A final timeout called by North Carolina. Hoping for a miracle mistake by Georgia. But this
Carolina team that's going to have a hard time building a resume with not many teams ranked as it sits right now, and a challenge to get many more in that ACC ranked as the season moves along.
And there's only one other ranked team, as you said.
48 toss crack 8 times and 2 touchdown runs. I know Herschel does, as I said earlier, somewhere as well. That's the kind of Bulldog brand and identity he wants to build, and a tremendous start for Kirby in his career.
The final score, 33-24. Kirby Smart wins in his Georgia debut. A terrific win over North Carolina. Even more college football coming now. Clemson and Auburn underway. Brett Musburger and Jesse Palmer.